6 feet. Are we ready?
That's why I wear like a field.
Hello. Oh, Grace? What is she doing? We're live. Oh my gosh. We're ready. Hey. We're live, and she's not like doing anything.
So start. Stand by, ready, camera one. Stand by, ready, camera one. Stand by, ready, camera one.
Did you hear Grace out here at all or no?
No.
Yeah.
You couldn't hear Grace at all. Why not? But she was, yeah, we. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear it.
Yo, my sister goes, I think the Russians are in her.
Hello, I'm Grace Reed.
And I'm Josh Hyland. Welcome to this evening's news.
All right, we're gonna stop again. So it's not camera one. Grace is gonna be on the remote panel.
This isn't gonna work out. Yeah.
What is Hello, I'm Grace Reed.
And I'm Josh Hyland. Welcome to this evening's news.
First, a development in the Joe Biden Burisma scandal. On October 14th, the New York Post published never-before-seen photographs and correspondence between the son of former Vice President Biden, Hunter Biden, and high-ranking executives in the Ukrainian energy company Burisma. The Bidens have been facing criticism from the
Your cell phone is on mute.
Yo, my sister goes, I think they should.
That's where the feedback came from. Just because we haven't had Martin hearing it, and we're hearing it on this, there's a little bit of a feedback.
Hello, I'm Grace Reed.
And I'm Josh Hyland. Welcome to this evening's news.
First, a development in the Joe Biden Burisma scandal. On October 14th, the New York Post published never-before-seen photographs and correspondence between the son of former Vice President Biden, Hunter Biden, and high-ranking executives in the Ukrainian energy company Burisma. The Bidens have been facing criticism for their dealings in Ukraine for months. And with this story, the New York Post claims they have the smoking gun. Containing these messages are letters from executive Vadim Pozarski reading in part, quote, "Thank you for inviting me to D.C. and giving me an opportunity to meet your father," end quote. Pozarski is also attributed with saying, quote, "Use your influence," unquote. The published material was found on a hard drive thought to belong to Biden and later obtained by former New York mayor and lawyer to President Trump, Rudy Giuliani. When the newspaper posted their story to Twitter, users found they could not share it, leading to allegations of censorship. Twitter acknowledged the suppression, saying they believe the article's contents to be obtained by hackers, which is in violation of Twitter terms of service. The New York Post's account remains locked, and according to Twitter, it will only be unlocked when the tweets regarding the story are deleted.
A subpoena to Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey after the social media company blocked an article by the New York Post regarding alleged emails sent from Hunter Biden. Users of the social media platform were also prevented from sharing the article. Dorsey has stated that the company blocking links to the article was wrong. Initially, Twitter issued a statement that said that the tweet violated its policies on hacked materials, as well as showing private information such as emails and phone numbers. The New York Post's article was about emails that were described to contain sensitive information about Biden and his son that were found on a laptop in a computer repair shop. It has not been verified if the emails are in fact true or being used to spread disinformation before the election. The Social Dilemma, a Netflix documentary about the dangers of social media, came out earlier this year in January. In the documentary, insiders from the tech industry go into detail about how the users are the product and their private user data is being sold to other companies. The documentary also talks about how social media algorithms choose what to show people in their news feeds, which ultimately influences people's decision-making, whether they realize it or not. The algorithm isn't the main concern, but rather the business practice behind it. Big tech companies show people what will keep them on the site longer. As a result, users' choices and decision-making are completely beyond their control and are being subtly influenced without even realizing it. And here to get the people's opinion on the subject is Thomas Fasano.
Senators Hawley and Cruz have taken a very large issue of writing letters about the Facebook and Twitter suppression of the New York Post article.
Seriously.
And I'm going to ask about it. So they're
Facebook and Twitter have policies to not spread things that are utterly unreliable, that have been debunked, and where their origin is untrustworthy. They're practicing their own internal controls, as I wish they had over the past 4 years. If they had been more selective about what they posted in 2016, don't take my word for it, listen to the head of the FBI. An active Russian disinformation campaign in 2016 had an influence on that election. They are trying even harder in this election. I'm glad that they are managing the content on their own websites.
And Twitter is actively blocking, right now this instant, stories from the New York Post alleging corruption and the Biden family receiving millions of dollars from communist China. This is election interference, and we are 19 days out from an election. It has no precedent in the history of democracy. The Senate Judiciary Committee wants to know what the hell is going on. Chairman Lindsey Graham and I have discussed this at length, and the committee today will be noticing a markup on Tuesday to issue a subpoena to Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, to testify before the Senate Judiciary Committee next Friday to come before this committee and the American people and explain why Twitter is abusing their corporate power to silence the press and to cover up allegations of corruption. And let me be clear, I don't know if these New York Post stories are true or not. Those are questions Vice President Biden should answer. But Twitter and Facebook and big tech billionaires don't get to censor political speech and actively interfere in the election. That's what they're doing right now. And so on Tuesday, the Judiciary Committee, the full committee, will be voting on subpoenas to subpoena Jack Dorsey to come before our committee.
Slated for Thursday night's game. Tight end Zach Ertz is expected to be out 3 to 4 weeks with an ankle injury. Jack Dorsey, the rookie filling in for Lane Johnson, will most likely be out for 2 weeks with a quad injury. Running back Miles Sanders suffered a knee injury and looks like he will miss Thursday's game. It's hopeful that Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey, and Lane Johnson, who participated in limited practice, will be ready. The Sixers are working with Philadelphia officials and Comcast to host the 2026 NBA All-Star Game. 2026 marks the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, and the city intends to make it a year spectacle. It is already confirmed that Philadelphia will host the NBA All-Star Game. In addition, the union put out a bid to host the FIFA World Cup. The city also put in a bid to host the Super Bowl as well. If all materializes, it will be a dream come true for sports fans in Philadelphia. Tonight we say thank you and farewell to legendary NHL broadcaster Mike Doc Emmerich, who announced his retirement after 47 years of service. Doc joined the Flyers in 1986. He took over play-by-play in 1988 to become one of the voices of the Flyers during his career. He called at excess of 3,750 professional and Olympic hockey games, including 22 Stanley Cup finals. He had a unique way of capturing the magic that takes place on the ice and set the bar high for future broadcasters.
Should be the weather segment.
This year, younger voters are being targeted more than they ever have before in previous elections. As the election draws closer and closer, we decided to ask our own students how they felt about what was going on. And how did you register?
I actually went about it through social media this year. It gave me a chance while I was away at school to be able to register to vote and mail it in.
Do you think social media has a big impact on this election in particular?
Yes, this one in particular, definitely. Big marketing, big industry, big advertising. It just seems like it's going to come down to whoever not necessarily pays the most, but maybe spreads his message the furthest.
They also expressed doubts in the candidates.
You know, we've never had two candidates like this before. It's just not
very traditional, very off-the-cuff type of people.
I don't have faith in either of them.
What's most important to you this election? Like, what do you want to see? Out of everyone we interviewed, the sentiment they all shared was this.
Equality.
Equality?
That's it.
That's it? That's it. Thank you so much for your time, then.
No problem.
I'm Thomas Fasano for Rowan News.
Hello and welcome to the 7-day weather forecast. Today we're in for some nice weather. It's a beautiful sunny day with a 0% chance of rain. The high is expected to be around 75 with the low of 55. Tomorrow is expected to be much the same with only a 10% chance of rain starting around 4 in the afternoon. As for the temperature, we're expecting a high of 80 with a low of 60. Unfortunately, on Saturday, that's where the nice weather ends, with the temperature in the 70s, with a 100% chance of thunderstorms starting around 12 in the afternoon, ending around 4 in the morning. Sunday, things will be a little bit nicer, with only a 25% chance of rain. The high will be around 70 with a low of 50. As for Monday, there's a 0% chance of rain, and that's where the heat wave begins, as we're going to have a high of 90 with a low of 75. Tuesday, there's a 0% chance of rain, with the temperature expected to remain just as hot with a high of 80 and a low of 70. And finally, on Wednesday, we're in for some showers starting around 7 in the morning and ending around 4 in the afternoon. That does it for the weekly weather forecast. Thanks for tuning in. We hope to see you next time.
That's our news for tonight. I've been Grace Reed.
And I'm Josh Hyland.
Music.